Now let's have a look at chapter 2. Chapter 2 is all about data collection and management of the data. There's a reason why data collection and management is in the upfront chapters, which is chapter 2. This is the most important step within data analysis. Whether in business analytics or marketing research or any field that uses data to analyze the data. It could be in engineering for that fact. But in essence, here in business analytics, it's very important to take note of data collection and how the data is managed when collected. Let's first have a look at the overview of data collection methods available out there. So at first, in the aspect of marketing research, and in our example here on the slide, you'll see surveys and interviews, focus groups, observational studies, but there's many more. But then when looking at business analytics, your data collection could be depending on the business. For example, let's say it's a flight company. The flight company might collect data from when the customers book the flight ticket. So all those fields that you fill in within the website, that's data being collected whenever you press enter button within that field. So then the flight company can use the data to analyze to see, so you can even see it in the front end whereby you see how many seats are available. So they're using the data in the background to see how many seats have been booked. But in total, we have so much data. And for that, there's so many seats that are available. So that's business analytics, looking at where it could be customer centric, where customers are punching in the data themselves on an app or website, then pressing enter, which then goes to the business. Or it could be in a way of loyalty programs, whereby every time you are shopping, you have to either, if you're looking at retail, swipe your loyalty card, or if it's a flight company, you enter in your details for you to qualify for discounts. It could be, medical aid, looking at different rewards levels. That would fall under the business analytics, where using you customers or consumers to fill in the data. Then it becomes secondary data for the company. Then you just extract the secondary data. For then marketing research, an example here, you can then use primary data collection methods, where surveys is a quantitative data collection method where you use surveys. Surveys can be digital or surveys could be paper-based. There's also interviews, either in-depth interviews, or you can have one-on-one interviews using a qualitative research data collection method, or you can then have focus groups whereby you have a group of people coming together looking at a certain topic, then discussing the topic within a focus group. That's another qualitative research data collection method. Or you can use observational studies where you have various, it could depend on what method you want to use. For example, you could do mystery shopping. Mystery shopping is a data collection method where a researcher or someone who's been employed to collect the data acts as a shopper. It could be at the retail, for example, it could also be at a fuel station. So in a retail setting, the person can have tasks to do, whether to look at the shelves, and then while just observing, they'll then go back and then capture all those moments. They could either be looking at staff behavior, or they could be looking at display plan, depending if the right products are displayed at the right place, or any type of observational element that a business wants to understand. So those are the different data collection methods available. You could also have various data collection methods within, business analytics. So just wide industries, also within vehicle industries, whereby At times, your vehicles act as data collection methods, whereby your GPS within the car tracking system, there's also data collection. It could either be data collection from your tracking company that has a tracker installed within a car, or looking at the vehicle's navigation system and saying this is where the vehicle is moving, these are the points, or how long it's been traveling, even within Google Maps as well. That's another data collection methods. So moving on, we look at data quality and data cleaning techniques. So there are different data cleaning techniques, but looking at the most common, the first data cleaning technique would be removing duplicates. So for example, if you have a spreadsheet, so the data could be sitting in a system. However, when you want to clean your data, it is best practice to extract your data into a usable and editable tool, which in our world is either Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. So focusing on Microsoft Excel, because we know Excel is one of the popular. Also, Google Sheets functions similarly. So looking at maybe 100,000 rows within your Google Sheet or your Excel file spreadsheet, the first data cleaning technique you want to do is first removing duplicates. There's ways of removing duplicates. You could either use your manual eye looking at each, but that's not advisable, especially if you have a big data set. So there's various videos out there, as well as within this course will show you an example of how data is removed or how duplicates are removed. And then also you can also correct errors within the data that you have, and also handling missing values. So all of these techniques are techniques that are used to clean your data. So in aspects, when removing duplicates, you can also remove missing values if you can't fill in the missing values, especially if you're capturing custom sensitive information that you can't really assume. But for instance, if you're capturing geographic information and then you want to know house addresses, and then the GPS coordination is just showing, at a piece of land that's not really a house, but you can see the one closest house within that area, you can then change the data, clean it up, and then put in the correct value. So that's the way where you want to correct the data. But if you can't really determine what the correct value of the data is, it is best to always delete the data point. Or it could be a row if you're looking at spreadsheets. Then let's have a look at data management and storage techniques. So having data is also an important part of the business, as well as now managing the data that you've collected. So you need to manage it in a way that is very safe, as well as easily accessible for the data users, which is everyone within the business, especially analysts that will always need to look at the data. So you can look at options such as data warehousing, where building in-house servers at times, but not advisable, but depending on how big is the organization. You could also store the data within your own device. So for example, if you have a desktop computer that sits in an office, or you can back up your data within a USB flash drive, or a disk, or whichever way that stores data. But data warehousing is one of the sophisticated, if you're looking at enterprise, where you're looking at a big organization. And recent years, cloud storage has come to life, where there's different cloud storage systems. Could be Google, could be AWS, which is Amazon's. It could be various types of cloud storage, which is really storing your data within the internet. Hence, it's called the cloud. Quite interesting looking at cloud and the internet. I guess it's up there. Also, let's have a look at the introduction to databases and data warehousing. So databases store and organize data, whereby you can always retrieve your data the way that you would like. So think about it. First, you collected your data, but now you have this data that you've cleaned, And you also have your management systems, but what do you need to do? So you need to store the data, obviously, and you need to organize it in ways that are easily extractable by people that will be using your data.